The Ansoff matrix is a very common matrix, so I think it's worth knowing a little bit about it and then seeing how you can develop it and come up with something which might be even more helpful. Very simple, invented a long time ago. It has the name Ansoff because that's Igor Ansoff, who was sort of the father of strategic planning in many ways. And it's a very simple matrix with two dimensions. On one, you've got customers or markets or channels, and on the other, you've got products or services. So who you're doing things for and what you're giving them would be another way of describing it. And then the matrix is divided between existing and new. And the idea is that at the moment you're selling your existing products and services to your existing customers in existing markets, existing geographies. And the tool is really, the matrix is there to help you think about options. What can we do? And one thing you could do is just get better at that. Maybe you've only got 5% market share, you've got great products, you just haven't exploited the current market you have. On the other hand, there are other options. You could start selling new products and services to existing customers. You could also go and sell the current products and services to new customers. And if you want to take a big risk, you could sell new products and services to new customers. There's kind of an implication here that the further out you go from the bottom left, the riskier it gets. And I think that's a bit too simplistic. It may be actually very risky to even try and sell new products to your existing customers. Perhaps you have a very close relationship with a certain part of the business. For example, I was a strategy consultant. Quite a lot of IT consultancies tried to buy strategy consultancies so that they could sell that new service to their existing customers in the hope of getting more IT. Not sure it ever worked because the customers were fairly savvy and saw that if they were getting a buyer strategy review telling them they needed to buy more IT, then they clearly weren't getting a good service. And frankly, the consultants didn't always like it either because they were being pushed to set up the IT part of the business to sell more. So that's an example of how it's not so easy sometimes even to go just to one of those adjacent squares. But at least the Ansoff matrix helps you think about it. There have been developments for that. There's the idea of adjacencies, which comes from Chris Zook in some of his books. It's a very similar idea, and it basically says profile where you are today on various dimensions, which include products, services, customers, but anything, geographies, whatever. It doesn't restrict the axes like the Ansoff matrix, and then think about how you might go one stage out to an adjacent market. So the Ansoff matrix has kind of spawned a number of imitators and people who've tried to develop a slightly improved version of it, but it still remains a bit of a classic and it's often used.